so tonight is the weekly driver meeting that we do. Typically we have existing drivers, senior drivers of all different fleets that are in the yard. They're welcome to join us. Obviously with this pandemic thing going on, we're really trying to minimize how many bodies are in here so that we can all social distance and maintain good, healthy environment. We apologize now for later that the live feed is not working. We are looking into it and hopefully we'll have some resolution to that in the very near future. But what I like to do is do some real quick introductions just so that you introduce yourselves and let us know who you are, where you came from, and what fleet you signed on to drive for. And it doesn't have to be something really big, just something quick and easy. And you guys, if you guys are at your tables, correct me if I'm wrong, no masks needed, correct?
As long as we're 6 feet apart.
Yeah.
No mask.
Because they won't be able to hear you if you got your mask on. So
if you're grabbing food, put your mask on.
Yeah. So I'll go first. I'm Chris Clark. I am the glass division manager, and I've been with the company 21 years. Really, all I've done is glass since I've been here in the 21 years. So I guess they think that I have put in the time to be able to have my own fleet of trucks to tell where to go. So you go ahead.
My name is Billy Jack. I'm from San Diego, California, and I run RGM.
Oh, okay. Welcome.
I'm Eric Sammons. I'm from Bedford, Texas, which is in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. I am a new driver, and I'm with the Referral division, West.
Oh, the Western 11 division or so. Is that it?
Pardon?
You're from Medford, Texas?
Bedford, Texas.
Bedford, Texas. Oh, okay. I was like, there's 3 Medford cities, one in Wisconsin, one in Texas now. Well,
no, sorry,
welcome.
not now.
Okay, only 2.
Or maybe there is. I don't know.
Welcome. I'm glad you made it.
Yeah,
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, Daryl Dusenberry from McLeod, California,
Oh,
and I'm doing the dedicated rerun.
okay. Yes, and now you took a bite of pizza, so.
William LaFleur, Ripon, California. With Blackwell.
And how long have you been with Blackwell?
6 years, 7 months, 1 week, and 1 day.
No way. You have it down to that?
Yeah.
You know.
It's an AA thing.
And then, of course, I know everybody knows this gentleman from spending the week with him, but would you like to introduce yourself?
I'm sure they're poorer for it. My name's Randy, and I do the flatbed training / orientation. So, been here a while.
And has he told you guys his lengthy resume of experiences with the company in your time here? Come on, Randy.
No, I have not.
So he did our glass securement training. He worked in the permit department when he hurt himself as a permit tech. He also did heavy haul and anything else that I'm missing.
Flatbed class, and I loaded glass in Salem.
Ah, yes, that's correct. He did our actual loading process in Salem when we had a contract up there. So he is a wealth of knowledge in all aspects of the company. So what I usually do is I'll send an email out a day or 2 before I host a meeting and ask if there's any input from the different divisions that they'd like me to address, whether it's industry changes or upcoming things with our company. Typically, I only get input from a select few people, so I have to fill in the blanks with some stuff that I want to talk about. So we'll start with the work drudgery things first. We are still continuing to have an issue with drop trailers. In all the fleets, at one point or another, you will drop a trailer and you will pick up another trailer. Our company expectation is that you do a post-trip inspection on the equipment that you're leaving behind, to sign your name to the fact that your coworker, your teammate, the next driver that's going to get that trailer is picking up a piece of equipment that you yourself would want to take. It seems like the last couple months, and probably a little bit more for the reefer division, it seems like we've been experiencing this on more of a repetition. We have drivers in my fleet that are not leaving the appropriate equipment, securement gear, straps, tarps with the trailer they leave behind, so they're shortchanging inventory. And then in turn, running around with an extra couple 100 pounds of gear that they don't need on their own equipment. S-cam bushings, threads showing on tires, a lot of DOT viable issues. So the expectation is when you drop a trailer, you do a post trip. If that trailer needs maintenance or any kind of services, the expectation is you call driver services. If it's during business hours, they'll instruct you on where to take that trailer to get the work done. If it's after business hours, they will give you direction, and then they will notify the next closest person to handle that during business hours. With reefer, I know that trailer washouts and leaving trailers low on fuel, the reefer fuel, is a huge problem. Is that right? Okay. And it's a repetitive problem. On Facebook, that's what we constantly see the fleet for reefer having, some indigestion over. So, for my fleet, and I can't speak for reefer and I can't speak for heavy haul, but for the glass division, we are really gonna start pinpointing the drivers that have these issues repeatedly. We're gonna look through the drop trailer list the next business day. We're gonna check and see if a post-trip inspection was done. And if not, we're gonna call and have a conversation with the driver and coach them on what the expectation is. If it happens again, then there's gonna be a process of events that happen if the driver doesn't get on board and start working with us. Mike Card, the owner of the company that you guys met Wednesday, he invests a lot of money into new equipment for all fleets, and we really rely on the drivers to help maintain and upkeep that equipment so that Mike is justified in investing in new equipment. If we can't take care of the equipment that we've got, then why should he go out and buy you guys new equipment? So it's gonna take everybody to pitch in and help. But I feel like repeat the parrot because I'm always talking about drop trailers constantly. So that right there is a major topic. Otr Fleet and Maintenance. Nick Card currently is managing the OTR and driver services department. He did give me some input on something that he would like me to talk to the fleet about. With the whole pandemic that we experienced last year, and now with it lifting and the industry is getting busier, we're running into a national shortage in parts, which means that breakdowns are taking a little bit longer than normal. He just wanted me to reiterate that to the fleet and just ask that you guys are patient with them. They are looking for new ways, new places. They're gonna be making more phone calls before they make a decision to put you in a shop that's gonna put you out of service for 2 or 3 days. So they do know that you guys are experiencing some frustrations, and he doesn't want you to think that they are going unnoted. He's really working hard with his team to source closer parts, even if we're spending a little bit more money on them, maybe getting you towed to a shop that can get you out in a day versus 3. So they're looking at all those pieces, but they're just asking that you guys remember what they're up against and be patient. If you guys have frustrations, please don't express the frustrations to the shops, because that's not gonna get your truck or trailer done any faster. Another thing that we as a company just rolled out 2 weeks ago is a thing called WorkHound. Combined Transport teamed up with a survey company called WorkHound. And it's an opportunity for us to hopefully get some anonymous feedback from our fleet on things that they would like to see improvements on, things that they're frustrated with, or any kind of suggestions that they might have for improvements. What WorkHound does is they take all of those anonymous comments and they categorize them by positive, neutral, negative, and then they send all those comments back to us, minus the sender's information. And then they get split up between the divisions, and it gives us an opportunity to see if there's real viable problems, or if the survey went out and the driver's stuck in traffic and he's just having a bad day and he just rants on the survey. But I know a lot of the drivers don't want to give real concrete feedback because they don't want to be frowned upon. They don't want to be looked at, differently or what have you. But this gives you guys an opportunity to actually give real feedback in real time. For some reason, throughout the fleet, there's a rumor going around that it's truly not anonymous, and that is false. If you have questions, you can call myself, Melissa Dockery, who's the safety manager, or Jason Card, the driver manager that was just here. We went through our first survey, we got all the feedback. We've already separated it, sent it out to the managers, and every Monday for the next couple weeks, a new survey will go out. So I really encourage the drivers that are listening in, to give us that feedback. Some of it was pretty lengthy, some of it, was just loading now, can't talk, or, little things like that, but they sent in something. And then there were some that, I had to set up my racks in the rain. Sometimes we have control over that, sometimes we don't. So those are comments, even though they might seem small, we can call the customer and say, hey, if it's pouring down rain, is there a place our drivers can set up their trailers? But we are looking at it very seriously, and industry-wide right now, turnover rate is over 100% for the industry. And we are at the highest that we've ever been as a company, but we're only at 50%. We kind of stayed right around 40 to 46%. And the last few months, we've seen an increase in that. So we're right about 50% turnover. So industry-wide, we're low on the turnover percentage, but we really want to focus on that and keep that down. And Workhound was a way for us to kind of hopefully have you guys feel comfortable about giving us feedback. The September safety campaign. Hello, Pat Turner.
I thought it didn't start till 4:45.
4:15, it said it right on Facebook. Have a seat, join us. Everyone, this is Pat Turner. Your driver numbers that you're given, it's like 5 digits, and right now it starts with what, 6, 7, 6, 7, something like that?
7-1 is where we're at now.
Pat's is 9918. That's how long he's been with the company. So he just had his 30-year anniversary with the company. He was a yard manager for a glass facility that we did local work for out of California. He's an OTR driver, over-the-road supervisor, evaluator. Were you ever a coach, or do you not have the patience for that?
Long time ago.
Long time ago, coach.
Long time ago.
So,
Back in my flatbed days,
yeah, when was the last time you were on a flatbed?
Long. 20 years.
So, anyways, just to bring you up to speed, we talked about drop trailers and the expectation and post trips and things like that. You don't ever drop your trailers, so you don't have a problem with it. Otr Fleet and Maintenance for breakdowns. There's a national part shortage that Nick wanted me to bring to everyone's attention. So downtime might be extended a little bit based on where you're at and what you're up against. Workhound, did you fill out a survey?
I have it, but I don't know how to work it. I'm not computer savvy.
Well, another survey will go out Monday, so maybe catch Melissa Dockery and see if she can walk you through how to do it. I know that when you get the survey, you just push the link, and then you just freeform type in there, and that's all you do. But, so September safety campaign. We are going to be focusing on PPE for the month of September. We have not done a safety campaign focusing around personal protective equipment. The company as a whole provides you with everything we expect you to wear: hard hat, safety glasses, safety vest. In my fleet, the Kevlar sleeves and gloves are included in that, and to get replacement, we don't expect you to pay for it. We give it to you because we want to minimize injuries, and we don't want you to say, oh, I didn't have the money, I couldn't buy it. So we are gonna try and get some driver engagement with this month's campaign. I think we're gonna roll out some drawings and a little bit of driver feedback, so keep an eye out on Facebook for Melissa's announcement for the first part of September on that. We'll probably do a live feed with a drawing out of a hard hat. There'll be some prizes, but you guys are gonna have to give us something in return, so keep an eye out for that. I don't wanna do, no spoiler alerts. For my fleet, there was some glass pay adjustments. In July, we went from rack setup, rack tear down, and tarp pay to giving the drivers just $100 for every live load and $50 for all tarping. In August, we did an across the board for the glass fleet 3-cent pay increase. we do a lot of phone calls to competition and other specialized equipment companies out there to see what they're paying their drivers. We wanna stay marketable and we wanna be, comparable so that the drivers are encouraged to stay. So we're hoping that with that little bit of bonus, and then in addition to that, we did what's called momentum pay. So on the last day of the month, the payroll will calculate all the miles that, say, Pat did in the month of August. And if Pat did 10,200 miles, he will get an extra 20 cents a mile on top of his regular pay for anything he did over 10,000. So for that 200 miles, he'll get 57 cents a mile plus an extra 20 cents for that 200 miles. And that will reflect as a bonus on your 5th paycheck. And we're going to also be looking at implementing the same type of structured program for, I believe, RGN and Refer, as well as the weed lane, if I'm not mistaken. Those are all things in the works right now with Roger, the division manager, and Scott and Jason. So keep an eye out for those incentive bonuses as well to start up for your individual fleets. Driver referral bonus. So you guys are our best form of, I have the word right away. Thank you very much. You guys have interaction with drivers at truck stops and customers and just on the road. Right now, the driver referral bonus is $2,000. So if you refer somebody and they turn in an application during the month of August, which there would only be 2 days left, and they're hired, 30 days after their date of hire, you would get $2,000 in one lump sum. For the month of September, we are upping that to $2,500. September is a really big month for combined transport. This September will be our 42nd anniversary for the company. And it also is our spouse and driver appreciation month. So, and a really cool safety campaign, as well as an increased driver referral bonus. So make sure that whoever you talk to knows your name, put it on the application. If you get their name and you think they're gonna forget yours, call the career center, say, hey, this guy might be sending in an application. I talked to him at the truck stop, they'll put your name on his application. It's a huge incentive, and I don't know that anybody couldn't use an extra $2,000, so. So, what? I could too. Yes, sir. Then last but not least is the driver's spouse and appreciation weeks. So every September, we do a week to honor the spouses or better halves that you guys have at home that you are leaving behind while you're over the road. They are just as much to be appreciated as you drivers are for putting up with you guys being gone and allowing you to work for our company. So we do drawings. We have the drivers, whether it be husband or wife, send in a little bit of a blurb about why they think that their spouse should be nominated for spouse appreciation. And then we pick names and we give out gift cards for the week of the 5th through the 11th. And then Driver Appreciation Week is the 12th through the 18th. We have TVs, we have laptops, we have tablets, we've got, I think, coolers, Yeti cups, we've got tons of prizes. And throughout the week, we're gonna be honoring and giving out prizes for driver appreciation. I believe on the 18th, which is a Saturday, the end of it, we're gonna have a barbecue here in the yard. And that's when we'll do our grand prize drawing. And we'll probably do a live feed, put it on Facebook and all that. But it's just a little way for us to give back to you guys for the year of commitment and dedication that you gave to Combined and Blackwell. So, is there anything, Randy, that I might have missed?
No, I think that pretty well covered it.
I know it's not a very long meeting today because everybody's kind of quiet. Pat, do you have anything to talk about? Anything to give to invest in the meeting? This gentleman is RGN and the other two gentlemen are new Blackwell drivers, and then William is an existing Blackwell driver.
So I have some RGN experience. I don't know, do you remember our corporate sales manager, Bob York? We used to do all the
That guy.
things. Yeah, so, like I said, a lot of times you had customers and all, you had the deadline where you had to get the equipment out. Well, we always had an RGN in Victorville. So he would grab me in the RGN and we'd start hauling equipment. I never did multi-axle, but I did do a 5-axle RGN. Like I said, you know, I'm sure Chris discussed with you and all, you know, the glass division has really changed over the years, but I mean, it's still our highest paying division. And like I said, she was just talking about the new loading pay, the new 3 cent across the mile pay that we just got. My last paycheck was like, whoa.
Yeah, so this is Pat's way of, you know, on the side, recruiting drivers that are new to Combine. So you guys do 6 months plus in Blackwell and you wanna come to Glass, you're more than welcome to. I will openly recruit drivers.
Right there, he's on.
Yeah.
Come on, I can go now.
I will absolutely openly recruit drivers. Roger may not like it, but
Like I said,
I'll
that's
deal with him
always been
later.
one of the best things about Combined, is there's a lot of opportunities here. You know, if the reefer division doesn't work out for you, you can go to Glass. I said, I have a brother and a nephew they're both on FAK, and I have another nephew that drives for Blackwell. Actually, he's the youngest driver at Blackwell.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
He's only 25 years, he just turned 25.
Duncan?
Dalton.
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 I thought that we'd be able to recruit him to Glass.
Mhm.
He fell in love with
No, he
Van
loves,
Reefer.
he
Yeah.
loves Blackwell, you're not gonna get him away from there.
That's fine.
But like I said, my brother doesn't wanna do Glass anymore, and
Yep.
Anthony's happy with FAK. So, I'm the
Yeah,
only-
there's a lot
I'm
of
the only
opportunity for
diehard-
growth, for
I'm the
sure.
only diehard Glass guy here.
Yeah, I know.
And I think that Chris Clark and Combine, they should get some kind of award or whatever.
For putting up with you?
me for 30 years.
I know, I just had another driver, he was, you know, we really try and give back to the drivers for the commitment levels, and, we have what we call a 1,000,000 mile award, and we have a 2,000,000 mile award, and we have very few select drivers that are still with us that have received our 3,000,000 mile award.
There's 4 of us.
Yeah, there's you, Britton, don't tell me. You, Britton, Don DeLapp had 3 million, and Charlie Daniels. So those 3 drivers, Don DeLapp is now retired. I think he was just hanging in there to get his 3 million, and he retired. But the other 3 are still working. They're running real hard, and
Britain are the only 2 left that could actually get the 4 million.
yeah. DJ Larson just got his 2 million, so it's a pretty big accomplishment. You know, we give a plaque and a ring for 1 million, a plaque and either a pocket watch or a wristwatch for 2, and then 3 million's always a little different for the individual because it's quite a feat. So
That's a lot of paying attention.
yeah, and DJ's young. You know, DJ's only 45 and he's at 2 million. So Mike was pretty impressed that he's been here since 2003 and he's at 2 million. So they run pretty hard, and definitely the miles are there. If you want them, especially with as busy as everybody is right now, we can't find enough drivers. So, well,
Do have something.
what's up?
What was this month's safety focus? Was on beat the heat.
Yes.
So I gotta end it every week. It's still hot out there. Hydrate consciously.
Oh yeah, and you know, anymore, I truly can't even tell if the people are wearing masks because of COVID or because of the horrible air quality that we're experiencing here. I mean, I don't know. I mean, when the air comes on at the White House, it smells like smoke in the building,
I just swear, cause nobody
bad.
faces at people.
and them not being able to see.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, outside of that, you know, definitely be mindful of the heat, stay hydrated, you know, proactively hydrate, don't be reactive about it because it's not gonna do you any good. It's just hot everywhere, and in the outlying yards, and I don't know if you guys are doing it here, but we've got water and Gatorade and things available for, and if you have to take a break, take a break. Absolutely find a shade tree or something to sit under to keep the direct heat off of you, but your guys' health is the first and foremost important, because if you're heat exhausted, then safety becomes an issue, and we just want you guys to take care of yourselves first. So, I guess that's all I've got. If you guys you have any questions? William, yes?
Tire shop open tomorrow, I picked up a trailer
See, prime example. I do believe the tire shop's open. I can text Taylor if you want me to, and
Huh?
you want me to text Taylor and find out if they're open over here?
Please.
I'll do that, so I can get you an answer. If not, OTR is gonna have to,
30 gallons of fuel and you.
this is what I'm talking about. We've got, and it's really hard, you know, the yard guys, we're doing so many preloads and trailers are getting dropped. We don't have a lot of time to thoroughly inspect them. So we're really relying on the drivers to leave us loadable equipment. And then we pull a trailer up and it's supposed to be staged in an hour and it's got a bad tire. So we gotta find another trailer and scramble. It's really a headache. So we gotta have you guys help us out with that for sure.
I spent a pretty good time talking about that this week with them, and that if you leave it for the next guy, you know, you're gonna be the next guy eventually.
Yeah.
And somebody's gonna leave it, so we've all gotta work together to get this under control.
You know, and I guess I can leave you guys with one last piece. Because we are getting so busy right now, or have been so busy, you know, detention at our shippers and our receivers it's bound to happen. In glass, in heavy haul, reefer, you're gonna run into having some downtime despite what your dispatch says your appointment time is. We know that you're not making money if you're not running, so we do value your time and we wanna reimburse you for detention and downtime that you're due. The only thing that we ask is that you communicate an hour after your confirmed appointment time. Just call up dispatch and say, hey, it's 9 o'clock, I was told to be here at 8, I just wanted to let you know that we might have a detention issue. This way we can be proactive and email the customer and say, hey, is there an ETA on this truck getting completed? We just wanted to make sure he was there on time. And ring the bell that detention is gonna start incurring. And then you send in your final time for getting unloaded and we calculate what's due to you and we send you a PO to the truck and payroll will reimburse you. So please don't get frustrated at every single place you go because there's a lot of downtime and you're missing out on miles, because we do wanna compensate you. And we know it's not what you would make if you were running a full day of miles, but it is something to offset the downtime.
And it's easier, I learned this from you, if you email them, if you're in Blackwell, they have a list of all the names, and put them in your phone with their email address, and you, on the first hour, what I do is put 1 hour down, and then tell them I'm on a door, I'm not on a door, not moving on a door, because if you don't, then they're gonna email you back, are you on a door? But just, if you don't do it the first hour, you're not gonna get the detention. And then maybe after 3 hours, some places like Richland, I was there for 22 hours. It's just like, I'm going to bed, I'll let you know when I get loaded. If you know you're gonna be there a day or whatever.
And don't get us wrong, don't get scared, it's not always like that, but you will run into those situations where you have that extreme downtime, whether a crane breaks down, or their forklift blows up, or they had people call off and they're having labor issues, which are all things that we've experienced across the board. But, as William said, emailing is a paper trail, because there's human error. You might call in, a dispatcher's busy, and she forgets to write it down, and then she forgets to submit it, and then you don't get reimbursed. To where if there's an email, you continue to send on that same email thread, and there's documentation, and it's a lot easier and less room for human error if it's in writing. So that's just something I suggested to some of my drivers, because they don't like talking on the phone, and they're grouchy, and so they just send us an email. But so, any other things for your new guys? For your fleet? Can you think of anything for Blackwell?
Just the trailers.
Yeah,
When you.
huge.
The first thing you wanna do is look for the DOT sticker. It should be on the front, and they're using better markers now, but if it's faded and you can't read it, there's a little box by the landing gear. If there's no box there's a plastic box on the front. But it'll have the receipt of the last, when it was DOT inspected. If you don't have that, you call driver services and they'll email it. If it's past due, then it's your license if you get railed into a level 1, but that's the first thing. If you're pulling a reefer that has a carrier, all the new trailers are, not carriers, they're Thermo Kings.
Thermo King.
But the carrier reefers, you open the side door, there's a bottle on top, and it should be pink. If it's not pink, the bottle cracked and there's no coolant in it, so you have to get that fixed.
See, I learn something new every time I do a meeting with you.
He's a fine.
Check the tires. Don't drop a trailer that's dirty. You can buy a blower for $100 and ride it off. If you can't crawl into a trailer, that we have so many ladders for the glass sleeve, they'll give you a ladder you can strap on the back of your truck. But every time you drop a trailer, either wash it out or blow it out. And then when you blow it out, please don't leave your crap on the ground. Pick it up.
Yeah, and for those of you who have pets, if you let your pet walk around out here, just be a courteous pet parent and pick up after them, please. I don't know how many piles I've stepped in. Totally unfortunate. So, huge. Just make sure you pick
And
them
they
up.
have the little green boxes with the baggies that
Oh, I
are
know.
all over the yard.
Mhm.
But,
Yeah, down there behind what they call Princess parking is just, pick up after your animal.
yeah, definitely. It's just a common courtesy. So, outside of that, I guess I've covered all the new and upcoming things. The new drivers, are going to be included in the driver appreciation. Even though you're new, you are now a driver, you're an employee of Combined, so your name goes in the hat for drawings and things like that. And if you win something big and you don't have a place to store it, I can always hold on to it.
Be
So-
happy to watch that TV for me, right?
I'll make sure it works. If it's defective, we gotta send it back. So, well, I really appreciate you guys sitting here. It's the last thing that you guys have to endure, your week of orientation, so thank you very much. And, if you guys think of questions after the fact, you can call me and I'll find the answer out, even though it's not glass related. You can call your career coach or Jason, whoever you think of first to call, and we can get it for you. Are we done?
We